Hey, this is Steve from HitItLonger.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the swing of one of my students who's having some difficulty with a couple of fairly common issues, and you might fall into this category as well because of how common they are, and so you might be helped by the solutions that I will present in this video. Okay, so first, this is Paul. Paul's a big guy. He can hit the ball a long way, and unfortunately, that can be an issue because sometimes he gets going kind of crooked. And generally, his predominant shot is a block off to the right. And really, the common issues here, I'm going to draw a line down the rump here. And we're also going to draw a little line here at the forehead, like this. And we'll just kind of go through a preliminary step by step. And I want you to watch. The first thing you're going to see is the rear end starts to leave the line forward, as well as to keep him in balance, the forehead kind of started to move up and back away from the matching red line. So by the time he's reached the top of the swing, you see there's maybe a 2-inch gap. And so he's already started to lose the posture early on as he goes into early extension. Now this is very common that you're going to start to lose the hip depth by the time you reach the top of the swing. It's your way of kind of hedging or cheating, as they would say in base stealing, that you got caught leaning. So you're kind of facilitating what you're going to be doing in the downswing. And so as we take them into impact, you see that all of a sudden that gap just got twice as big, both lines. And you see as he goes through the ball that it's become a good 5 or 6 inches off on both lines, actually. Okay, so that's probably the big primary issue, and that is just so common for people, and it can get you into basically a lot of crooked hitting. In this case, he does a lot of heeling and blocking off to the right, but some people can formulate a way to really start hooking the ball pretty consistently from here too. So anyway, it's just bad news to stand up this much, lose the posture. In Paul's case, we're now going to take a look. We'll go back and we're going to just take a look at the handle path coming down and what generally tends to happen. Watch this frame here, how he's probably on a pretty good plane right before he reaches the top, and then everything starts to steepen as he gathers into the transition and then starts to come down. You see how he's kind of steep and over the top and outside in now. And the handle path being now doesn't exit left enough either, so it becomes quite vertical through the impact zone, and this, as we've talked about in other videos, really makes it hard to square the face. And so the ball can maybe start straight, but then it can often kind of have a big tail off to the right. It's also a distance issue because you get a lot of balls in the heel, you get a lot of balls with high backspin this way, and you end up swinging pretty fast and not getting everything out of your efforts. Okay, I want to point out one more thing before we go on to the solution, or the fix, or the drills. Just to erase these lines, we're just taking a look at the hips and the shoulders. And at first glance, he seems pretty parallel and square, but as you look closer, you'll see that the hips and the shoulders are just a little bit open compared to his foot line. And that is also in preparation for what he's going to be doing on the way down. Again, it's kind of a hedge. He knows instinctively that the ball is going to tend to go off to the right, and so he starts doing a little Kentucky windage at setup and starts to aim his shoulders and hips a little more left to facilitate an outside to in steeper downswing, in hopes that that will prevent the ball from going off to the right. It's not conscious. We do it subconsciously, just in our fear of missing the fairway a certain direction. Okay, let's talk about the solutions or the drills that Paul should be doing and exaggerating, hopefully. And of course, number one will be the lift the chair drill. So somebody with this issue, I'd suggest, hey, you find a good patio chair or a dining room chair, and just in your house you would practice, of course, maintaining the hip depth through the backswing, but then actually lifting the chair in the downswing. You just take a very short iron, a pitching wedge, and just do little impact zone swings. Practice doing the opposite. Exaggerating the opposite is the key here. Instead of going off the wall 5 to 6 inches, why don't we lift it 2 or 3 inches, like a Dustin Johnson might do. Okay, the second thing would be, we'll take him back to address again, and the second thing would be, if you have a grass range, you can use an alignment stick, something like this, and you put the alignment stick at about the same angle as the club shaft, and what you'll do is you'll just practice staying underneath it, and that'll help get the handle path back to being more shallow and into out again. And what you would do is just at home you might try to set up your golf bag at this angle with the head cover sticking out, so that might look like something like this. There's your golf bag, and you pull an alignment stick out of that and put that something like that, and you just try to stay under it. Now, I would not recommend doing this exercise with a graphite shaft, because if you hit the bag or the stick, then you'll probably break it, and that's too expensive. So use a steel shaft, go very, very slowly back and forth just through the impact zone, lifting the chair, staying under the stick, and then take that feel to the driving range with you. And slowly over time, hopefully you're going to evolve into a swing where the butt state can stay back and the club shaft can come back down in more of a shallow, on-plane, inside to square manner. All right, so that's it for now. If you'd like to get your swing analyzed like this, then go to my website, hititlonger.com, click on the Swing Analysis tab, and follow the instructions there. And I can give you some assistance with your swing. All right, and as usual, hey, I'll either see you in the next video or I will see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.